Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old.
Wait, did Oscar really just humiliate Floyd like this in public? Oscar de la Hoya jumped on Instagram Live and mocked Floyd Mayweather, sending fans into chaos. And honestly, this isn't new. He's been targeting Floyd again and again lately.
That's who he is. That's who he's a lowlife. And that's who he is. I mean, that's exactly what Floyd is.
Stop. Did Floyd cross the line so bad that Oscar had to fire back? This rant finally caught Floyd Mayweather's attention, and now it's bigger than ever. Oscar de la Hoya went straight at him on Clapback Thursdays. No filter, no holding back. The clip went viral in hours, but this wasn't random. Floyd fought John Gotti III, got booed, then removed the referee mid-fight after a warning. That moment opened the door. Oscar stepped in fast. Seriously, even in a no-risk fight, Floyd still had to control everything. This is what really matters. Floyd Mayweather was in an exhibition, no record, no stakes. Yet he still couldn't let the referee do his job. He had to stay in control. What you think? Is this anger or pure disappointment hitting harder? Oscar de la Hoya wasn't shouting. He sounded tired, almost let down. That's why it hit different. Not a loud diss, just real talk. He broke it down calmly. Said Floyd Mayweather, the 50-year-old legend he once defended on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, was now embarrassing himself for months.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real show that left the crowd booing in the arena at the end.
Hold on. Is this respect turning into betrayal right in front of us? Oscar de la Hoya didn't start with an attack. He started with a reminder. I backed you. I spoke up for you on a big platform, and this is how Floyd Mayweather responds.
But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing.
Wait, is Floyd's legacy really taking a hit like this? That line, "Nobody wants to remember you like this," blew up everywhere. Not just shade, it hit legacy. And Floyd Mayweather always protected that above everything. But Oscar de la Hoya wasn't finished. The John Gotti III exhibition was just the start. What he said next is what made the clip explode. Stop! Is Floyd's empire actually cracking in public? Oscar de la Hoya said it straight, no emotion, no drama, just facts one after another. Floyd Mayweather's jeweler even sued him. Then reports of financial pressure started surfacing, and Oscar didn't hold back. He said it all on camera.
Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharpe's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this.
What do you think? Is this a prediction or a reality catching up? Oscar de la Hoya landed that line like a punch because he's been saying it for years. When the Canelo Alvarez DAZN deal dropped, he told reporters that Floyd Mayweather would eventually need money, saying fighters like him often end up broke. He claimed Floyd was just showing off and the big money wasn't coming like before. He even pointed to Mike Tyson, a man who earned over $500 million and still lost it all. So when Oscar came back on Clapback Thursdays in April 2026 and brought up lawsuits, financial pressure, and exhibition fights, it wasn't breaking news. It was a public, I told.
And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami, and many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets.
Wait, Oscar is now speaking for Floyd. Oscar de la Hoya didn't even wait for a reply from Floyd Mayweather. He just answered for him.
I hate seeing this happen, bro. As I've always said, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep it.
Stop! Is Floyd really avoiding the one fight everyone wanted? Oscar de la Hoya suddenly shifted the whole segment. Not exhibitions, not lawsuits, but something bigger, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2. The rematch was expected for September 19th, 2026 at the Sphere Las Vegas, backed by Netflix. Contracts were reportedly signed, the venue locked in, a real professional fight officially on records. Then everything changed when Floyd started calling it an exhibition. That one word flipped the entire deal. No sanctioning body, no record impact, less risk to his 50-year legacy. Just money, no pressure.
Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around.
And hold up, is Floyd's perfect image starting to crack in public? Oscar de la Hoya said it in the cleanest way possible. No direct attack, no insults. Just a simple idea. Floyd Mayweather has the 50-year on paper, but perception is something different. And in boxing, perception can matter more than anything. Floyd built everything on that image. The money team, lifestyle, the flashy cars, the private jets, the money phone. His whole brand was built around being untouchable. And that perfect 50 record was the foundation holding it all up. Then the Pacquiao rematch comes back into the picture. The biggest test, the most pressure, the most scrutiny, and suddenly Floyd is calling it an exhibition. Oscar didn't drop it there. He went back to their 2007 fight, the only time they actually shared the ring. And he brought up something Floyd has never fully stopped. Did Floyd protect his record or protect an escape route? Oscar de la Hoya brought back a claim from Floyd Mayweather SR, Floyd's own father, who once said after their fight that Oscar had won, not media, not critics, his own team. Oscar used that in 2026 to make one point about Floyd Mayweather. The zero was never as clean as it looked. The record exists, but so do the doubts. Then he went even further. He accused Floyd of timing his retirement to kill a rematch clause, waiting out the exact period so the obligation expired. And then Oscar dropped a rhetorical question that hit the internet instantly. Wait, is Oscar exposing Floyd without even raising his voice? Oscar de la Hoya stayed calm the whole time, no anger, just pointing things out. That's what made it hit harder against Floyd Mayweather. He wasn't arguing, he was letting it sit. And then he didn't even stop at Floyd. He closed that part of Clapback Thursdays by dropping another name nobody. What do you think? Is this still boxing talk or something bigger now? Oscar de la Hoya didn't just hit Floyd Mayweather, he also mentioned Jake Paul in the same breath. And that changed everything. It wasn't just trash talk anymore. It was a message about tiers, legacy fighters versus exhibition fighters, money fights versus real fights. Meanwhile, Pacquiao had already said the contract was for a real sanctioned fight, not an exhibition or a show. So when Floyd started using the word exhibition, it looked like a shift away from what was agreed on. That's the exact moment Oscar stepped in on Clapback Thursdays in April 2026. And that's why the clip spread everywhere. This wasn't casual beef between retired stars, it looked like one man publicly questioning a deal in real time. And the history behind it goes way back. Their 2007 fight, Floyd won by split decision. One judge even scored it for Oscar, never fully settled the argument. Even Floyd's father, Floyd Mayweather SR, later said Oscar had won. No rematch ever happened, and Oscar has long claimed the rematch clause died with Floyd's retirement timing. From there, every public moment between them added fuel. When Oscar called the Canelo Alvarez DAZN deal the biggest contract in sports, Floyd reacted, and Oscar fired back again. Years of tension, shots, and unfinished business all led into that one
I mean, how fair is it that Canelo announces this big monumental deal, and then here you have Floyd crawling out of his little rock, trying to sabotage or trying to steal the thunder. I don't know what he was trying to do.
What do you think? Is this rivalry or straight-up disrespect now? Oscar de la Hoya uses that kind of language as a pattern when talking about Floyd Mayweather, not like a peer, but like someone beneath him. The message is clear. Floyd only shows up when there's money or attention to grab.
That's who he is. That's who he's a lowlife. That's who he is. I mean, that's exactly what Floyd is.
Wait, did Oscar just cross the line with one sentence? A reporter asked Oscar de la Hoya if Floyd Mayweather went too far, and Oscar didn't hesitate at all. He didn't. What do you think? Was this just talk or a warning from years ago coming true? Oscar de la Hoya didn't stop after that moment. In the same interview, he made a financial prediction about Floyd Mayweather and later brought it back up in the April 2026 Clapback Thursdays segment. What do you think? Is this loyalty talk or just old wounds reopening? Floyd Mayweather didn't stay quiet. When asked about Oscar de la Hoya and loyalty, he fired back. He brought up how Oscar handled Canelo Alvarez, moving him from Showtime to HBO, and taking a deal that Floyd suggested Canelo didn't fully bet.
Another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
once
broke?
again.
What do you think? Did this stay boxing or turn personal? Floyd Mayweather kept his argument simple. He said Oscar de la Hoya talks about loyalty, but when money showed up, he moved Canelo Alvarez from Showtime to HBO without Canelo fully benefiting from it. That was the accusation Floyd put out there, and he didn't stop to prove it. He just let it sit in public. Then he shifted away from boxing completely and started bringing up Oscar. What do you think? Is this still boxing talk or just personal shots now? Floyd Mayweather didn't keep it technical. His clapback wasn't about records or contracts anymore. It turned personal, pointing at old photos and appearances of Oscar de la Hoya that had been online for years. That's the level this feud had dropped to underneath all the boxing headlines. Then Floyd went further. He made a direct money comparison too, keeping the focus on wealth and status.
And you know what Oscar de la Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar de la Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar de la Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. Guys that dress like men, and of course, you know, I'm sending shots to Oscar de la Hoya because I'm always sending shots at him because, you know, I don't respect the men that dress in drag.
What do you think? Is this still boxing talk or just personal shots now? Floyd Mayweather didn't keep it technical. His clapback wasn't about records or contracts anymore. It turned personal, pointing at old photos and appearances of Oscar de la Hoya that had been online for years. That's the level this feud had dropped to underneath all the boxing headlines. Then Floyd went further. He made a direct money comparison too, keeping the focus on wealth and status.
And since, you know, Oscar de la Hoya feel like that he accomplished more than me and he got more than me, won't we just see?
What do you think? Is the fifth Dice-Row still boxing history or boxing control? Oscar de la Hoya tied everything back to one idea in April 2026. The Floyd Mayweather Zero isn't just a record, it's a brand that has been carefully protected fight by fight. He pointed to patterns, timing fights strategically, facing younger opponents like Canelo Alvarez early in his career, letting retirement timing end rematch clauses, and later leaning into exhibitions instead of sanctioned bouts. According to Oscar, it all served one purpose: keeping the Zero untouched. In the Manny Pacquiao rematch discussion, Oscar said Floyd was still protecting that same O, speaking like someone who had seen the pattern for years, not just as a rival, but someone directly affected by it. The 2007 fight was his main example. Floyd won a split decision, but even Floyd Mayweather SR later suggested Oscar had done enough to win. No rematch ever happened. Oscar claims Floyd's retirement timing let the rematch clause expire. Wait out 1 year and 1 day, then return with the record still intact. Fast forward to 2026, and Oscar said the same pattern was appearing again. A signed deal, a set date, a major venue, then the word exhibition started replacing sanctioned fight. To Oscar, it looked like the same protection system repeating itself. He also referenced the original Mayweather vs. Pacquiao, which became the highest-selling PPV in boxing history, but was widely criticized for not living up to expectations. A rematch at that scale in 2026 would carry even more pressure and risk to the perfect record. That's why Oscar's question hit so hard. Can you really duck risk at 50? For him, it wasn't about age. It was about what gets protected when everything is on the line. Money, legacy, identity, and that's zero. And when he dropped the name Jake Paul alongside Floyd, it pushed the argument further. In his framing, exhibition boxing had blurred the lines, fighters chasing checks, not legacy. In that world, Floyd and the new generation were starting to look the same. Oscar's final point wasn't an insult, it was a pattern claim. The behavior, what do you think? Is Floyd protecting legacy or avoiding risk? Oscar de la Hoya wasn't just insulting Floyd Mayweather, he was pointing at a pattern. The fifth dice row, the retirements, the exhibitions, the timing of fights. In his view, it all looks like one system built to protect the zero. Not just what do you think? Is the silence louder than the fight? Oscar de la Hoya's April 2026 clip spread fast, hitting Floyd Mayweather hard across Instagram, X, and YouTube within hours. Boxing pages ran with it, reaction channels picked it up, and fans flooded the comments. The core issue wasn't just trash talk. It was the Pacquiao rematch situation and Floyd calling it an exhibition after it was reportedly signed as a sanctioned fight. That's why the clip hit different. It wasn't random beef. It looked like Oscar calling out a real contract dispute in public. Even Pacquiao's side backed the claim that it was supposed to be a real fight, not an exhibition. And in the days after it blew up, Floyd still hadn't responded. That silence.
And speaking of these horrible exhibition matches, I am so happy to hear and see that their popularity has finally played out.
Oscar's argument was structural.
It's the same amount of entertainment. My man Turkey Al-Sheikh is making sure that real boxing is on its way back. And he's standing on making the best fights happen. My man Turkey Al-Sheikh is making sure that real boxing is on its way back. And he's standing on making the best fights happen.
What do you think? Is Oscar finally saying what others can't? Oscar de la Hoya used the Canelo teaser at the end of Clapback Thursdays to remind everyone this wasn't a one-time attack on Floyd Mayweather. This is his regular space. He's gone at Dana White, the boxing business, and more before. That's what made April 2026 different. This wasn't a press conference or a fight promotion. It was Oscar on his own Instagram with no filters and no business pressure. And in that moment, what do you think? Is this unfinished business or just spotlight chasing? Oscar de la Hoya wasn't just attacking Floyd Mayweather. He was pushing a standard for boxing, real fights, sanctioned bouts, and records on the line. From his view, the John Gotti III exhibition, especially the referee situation in round 2, didn't match that standard at all. The April 2nd, 2026 Clapback Thursdays clip spread fast again across social media, and the silence from Floyd only made it louder. With the Pacquiao rematch in doubt, lawsuits in the background, and public reactions building, Oscar kept the pressure on every Thursday. So the real question now is simple. When legends keep targeting each other like this, do you see unfinished business or just clout chasing? This video is made for informational and educational purposes only to keep the boxing audience updated. All content is presented under Fair Use Policy, Copyright Act, for commentary, criticism, and analysis. We do not claim ownership of any clips, images, or footage used. All rights belong to their respective owners. This video has been created with the help of AI assistants to make it more unique, informative, and engaging for viewers. No harm, defamation, or misleading.